This is a frame gauge. I just thought I'd show it to you and how it worked. You find four places that are relative to the frame. And after you find those places, then you set up your yardsticks, which is what they all are. They all have a certain kind of scale to them. And you put them in place. You not only have the length and the width, you also have the height. You have a scale for everything. And the reason that was important was because I could set my motor in correctly the way it was supposed to be done. So what I did is I set the original motor in there and found everything I needed to know. This was the area that I put the most time in because I had to have a center feature here, and I had to have it high enough and low enough, centered, but not really centered because the pinion is centered off to the left. I knew that I had to have safety loops in all my systems, so I put this in this way, this rear mount. And I put these brackets up in the floor instead of just on the floor. I may change that. I added these brackets for extra strength, and then I put the tail shaft right in the safety loop. So you have your safety loop, your rear transmission mount, your isolator in here, and it attaches to your T56 tail shaft. The reason that that was so important is because if you have any extra angle in your yoke or in your U-joint, it eats horsepower. So I wanted to make sure and get that angle as correct as possible. One of my major concerns is steering linkage. I wanted to make sure I had plenty of clearance in my steering, and that's the front of my transmission to my steering link. I must admit that I made no changes to the oil pan, so I don't know how that's going to work out. You might have to make your own oil pan. Now in here, because this is a short system, I had to use the Eclipse slave cylinder, so that caused a problem too. There's a side view of that mount in case I didn't show it very good before. And it's the transmission sets up in there nice and clean. There's nothing dragging, nothing down low. Everything's fine. And we're looking good. Oh, this is with that slave cylinder in place. And you can see how close I was to that stop. It works perfectly. And an inch is as good as a mile. So that's where we're going to keep it. Right there. Pretty damn close. Here's another look at it. You can see how close that is in there. I took a little effort to make sure that that was correct. This was kind of full of surprises because I put that crankshaft pulley right back where the original setup was, and that was right over the top of that bar, and I was kind of surprised at that. And I put the block square in the cradle. Here again, you're going to have to work with your oil pan, whatever that may be, but I allowed clearances in there so that you had plenty of room to build the oil pan of your choice. A lot of attention was paid to the starter and how it fit next to the motor mount, and then how much tunnel would have to be moved. Not a lot. It was real good about that. The engine is nice and straight. Let's see if I can get this over here. The engine is straight up and down. This is the EVO model. There was a tremendous amount of difference in the casting of the bolt holes for the motor mount on the left hand side. It had to change, I had to change everything about it to be able to accept all the different models. This is the inside of where the transmission mount bolts. It's right in the tunnel, and it's right behind the shifter, and I used all the strength I could to bolt that safety loop. And then there's how the shifter lines up to the tunnel, so that's right in its existing place. There's nothing to change on that. I took some of this out. This is out because I had the R154 in there, so that is not, I don't think you'll have to take that out of your car. The T56 is not as wide as the R154. You can just make out where the bolts are on this side for that rear transmission mount. But that sets right into that cross member for extra strength.